Hey guys, I'm Sarah Kelly and I'm here with third-year men's basketball coach Jim Crutchfield. Coach, last year you won 29 games, you won the South region, and now coming into this season you're ranked number 2 in the nation. How exciting is that to see the transformation your program has taken over the last 3 years?
It's good. It's good for the school, for the community. Kind of wonder about your players, how they receive that, if they maybe are a little bit overconfident, which is very possible. But it's good for the program, and it's good for the university, too.
And you mentioned some of your players being overconfident. Of your returners coming back this season, who has developed the most in the offseason in improving their game?
Still working on that. I wouldn't want to bring up names right now to say who has developed the most. And I don't even separate players by names that very often. But the truth of the matter is, I think we've had guys that have gotten a little bit better, which is the name of the game here. We tend to get into player development here. So, I hope that everybody is a little bit better. Everybody knows the system a little bit better too. And hopefully that'll reflect on the court, but that's yet to be seen.
And you guys brought in 4 freshmen and 2 transfers. How are those guys adjusting to the new school and the new system?
Very well. And these are guys they're probably here because of the system. So, they understand up-tempo basketball, but I've never had a recruit in my life ever sit across my desk and say, "Coach, I'm a slow-down guy." They all think they can play it, but I think these guys, I kind of believe that they do fit the system pretty well coming in by their style of play and their mentality. So, yeah, I'm really happy with how well they've adjusted to this point in time.
And what do you see as one of your biggest strengths in the team this season?
I'm not a big depth guy, but I think we have some depth this year. And because I don't usually have a huge rotation, depth is not as important. But it seems like injuries have been creeping up more and more in the most recent years. So I think it might come into play more with injuries than in a certain game, keeping guys fresh on the court. But I think our depth is strong.
This year we have a lot more size within the team. Do you guys plan on going big more this year or still playing with guards and then the post inside?
We do have some longer players this year. Our freshman class with RJ it's probably 6'7", and Tommy's about the same, and Shane is probably a little taller than both of them. So we're a little longer, but our style of play is not going to be a whole lot different, I don't think. I've been playing the same format, so they're going to have to adapt to the style of play that we have. We're not going to be a pounded inside type of team, but everybody knows that. I think these guys, with their size, it gives them a chance to become more versatile players within this system. So I don't think that we will adjust any, but I think we might be a little bit longer in the future.
David Dennis was a coach on the floor last year, and besides his gaudy numbers, he did a lot of little things and really directed the team. How are you guys going to overcome losing him?
You can't replace him. He was so good, and I had him for 4 years. He was an extension of me on the floor for 4 years. And I think you make a mistake when you try to replace people and find someone who's like them. You take who you have, and you would make adjustments, but he's going to be missed. And it'll change my role a little bit, too, because he was a coach on the floor. And we got guys right now that want to be coaches on the floor, but I'm not sure they're quite ready for that. I don't trust them quite yet. So I'll make some adaptations myself. Players will make a few adaptations. But no matter what we do, he will be someone who will be missed out of the program.
From a media perspective and your opponent's perspective, the first thing that comes to mind when they're thinking of preparing for your game is Mark Matthews. What do you guys expect to see people doing to defend him and to stop just your team as a whole this year?
I'm not really sure how they're going to defend Mark, but he is just one of the pieces of the puzzle. Without a doubt, we do have a lot of offensive weapons. Mark is a mature, strong player, and I think if anybody's looking to prepare, that's kind of what they focus on, is don't let him get where he wants to go, especially around the basket.
All right, let's talk about the Sunshine State Conference as a whole. Even last year, you guys had to grind down some games to the last second. How do you guys think that helps you prepare for postseason?
It was a key to our season last year. We had, I think, 12 games decided in the last minute and a half, and we picked up 10 wins out of them. And it can make the difference of a season. If you lose 8 of those 12 games, we wouldn't be here talking about all the success we had and the national ranking that we have right now. We play a lot of last-minute situations out in practice on a regular basis, but still, I don't think you can control, once you're in those close games, you can't control everything. You talk about David Dennis being here. He was in that situation a lot, and he was a major factor on win or lose, whatever we do. But we have some guys that have been here through that last year, and we practiced it a lot. You just hope they make good decisions down the stretch and make me look like a good coach.
And over the summer, you actually met with some NBA coaches. Is there anything from their game that you're going to implement within our system?
I learned a lot, but I don't see us changing anything we do here. For me, it was just a fun experience to meet a couple great coaches and guys that are fun to be around. And I learned a lot about the NBA, which I didn't know a whole lot about. But it was just a good experience for me.
And whenever you first took this job, you talked about how you wanted to accept this challenge and you wanted to prove that you could change the culture here. Throughout this transformation, what struggles have you faced and how have you overcome them?
Every program, has their struggles, and everybody, kind of has a little bit of the grass is always greener somewhere else. But, this university is not known for basketball. And, some of the things that where I came from, where basketball was king, and it's not king here. I've had to make some adjustments for myself to deal with that. And, but you do, you make the adjustments to a different type of environment, figure out the right path to get your program going in the right direction, which we're doing all the time. If you find a roadblock, then you figure out how to get around it. And we're still kind of doing that right now.
And you have done a massive transformation at this university for the men's basketball program. What has it been like to see the wins go up, the fans come in, and just have the support of the community behind you guys?
That's the fun part of it. It really is. It's the exciting part for me. When I walk campus now, every now and then someone says, "How's it going, coach?" A student, which is thinking, "Hey, wait a second, we're starting to become recognized here on campus, in the community a little bit too." And even this summer, traveling across the country at different venues and different events, people recognize what NSU is, and not just the basketball team, but now the university itself, which is good for everybody.
Coach, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Sarah.